make a modified case gauge. Because what you need is some sandpaper. In the bottom left there, I've got some 400 grit sandpaper, a tap holder, a case. You size the case and you take the primer out of the case. You need some taps. The tap you need is a 5/16 by 32, I'm sorry, a 5/16 by 36 tap. And then the bits that they say to use are the eye bits. Those eye bits, if you use those in your brass, you'll never be able to hold the brass. So I had to oversize the hole. So I found out two bits that worked very well. It was the 9/32 or the 19/64. The 19/64 doesn't have much threads when you get done, but it works really good for like a 223. The larger cases, like the 50 BMG you see there, it went real well. Had a lot of surface area to grab it, and with that, I could use the 9/32 drill or even a smaller drill bit and get a lot of threads on it, which is nice because you need a little more threads to hold that big case. But for like a 223, the 19/64 is the one I found. And what happened when I get done here is my 22-250, I use a 19/64, and for some reason the thread stripped out. It's going to be a lot better to use a 9/32. So I'm going to go ahead and redo the 22-250 using a 9/32 bit, and also here's my tap here, and then you get a wood block. I used a 1x2 of pine. You put it together, and then you drill holes a little bit smaller than the cases you're going to be modifying. And then when you put it in, I'll show you how to chuck it up into the wood block and drill it out and tap it. And you end up with a nice modified case. Once you have this tap and die, anytime you ever need a modified case, you don't have to wait, order. Some of them you can't even buy. They're wildcats, and it's just nice just to get one real quick. And it just takes a few minutes. I'll show you how. I have my sized 22-250 case. I have decapped it. Here I have two 1x2 pieces of pine, simple enough, cut, and you sandwich them together and you drill holes going down the middle here. What you do is you measure the diameter of your brass and you drill several holes smaller. For my hole drilling, what I did was I have a drill index 1/16 through 1/2 inch with 64ths. I have all kinds of drill bits to vary it that you use. So I went ahead and chucked up a 9/32 bit. You chuck it up hard. I've got my piece of wood here. I take some 400 grit sandpaper and I wrap it. The reason we're wrapping it here is this brass spins, and it's really discouraging when you get everything together and it spins on you. So what I've done here is I've got it sandwiched in here, and now I tighten it up. When you tighten it up, you've got to put some horsepower on it and tighten it up real hard. You can see the diameter. It's a tapered case. You can see the wood automatically did that. You want to leave a little bit of a gap here. If you can't get a gap here, it's not going to go tight. So let's see how it's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. When you turn it on, you have free here until it centers up. Once you center it up, you hold it hard and you crank down on the down pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and drill it out. Now what I need to do, I need to tap out the modified case. So what I have chucked up here is I have chucked up a 5/16 by 36 threads per inch drill bit. This looks like it's a bottoming bit, which isn't the best, but this bit was hard to find. They're hard to find, and it's hard to get the information from Hornady, but that is the correct bit. So I prefer using a drill bit because I keep everything plumb. You can do this with a tap handle and a vise in a hand drill, but you want everything plumb and straight. So what I do is I go ahead and pull this down. I don't use any cutting oil. And I go ahead and I center it up like it is there. and then I start turning it by hand. I do not use the motor. Right there, I can feel it going in. Every once in a while you have to back it off, go tight, back it off, keep down pressure on it, back it off, tight, back it off. There, you feel right there. You can feel where it's starting to bind on you. When that happens, you need to be patient. These Brits are really brittle. And you just go back and forth just a little bit. And you go ahead and you just keep going back and forth. There it goes. Always remember, now cutting oil would be nice, but if I put cutting oil in there, then my case can spin. So you have to baby it. See, I'm getting stuck there. I'm going to go ahead and turn the video off, and I'm going to do that. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Take a little while here. There it goes. Once you get going down and the shaving starts coming out, it starts getting a little bit easier. And in fact, you can kind of hold it and just spin it a little bit. And go like that. It's all squared off, and it's holding pretty good. You don't want to get carried away here. Keep going just nice and slow, because nothing worse than you're almost there and then your brass spins inside of the wood. So you can feel it. There it is. Okay, I'm doing this with a 9/32 bit. A 19/64 would have been a lot easier. It's a deeper thread and it's harder to hold the brass. It's just tough to do that. What I've done is I slipped the brass down more so I get more pressure on it, more grip on it up on the top. And I tighten it up. We're already through. I can tell by the distance through it that we're pretty well done. There it is. It's going free now. See there? So once it's going free, it was just a little bit it needed. You go down a little ways, then you back it off. You can feel some pieces in there getting stuck, which is kind of a tough thing. Just unscrew it. Take your, unchuck it from your vise. Take your brass. There it is. Take your paper off of it. And then you take your Hornady case gauge. You put it on and you spin it on. Spin it on. There's no problem with this. This being a 9/32 hole, if I use a 19/64, last time I did this, it spun. There wasn't enough threads to cut it. So that's it. The end product. This is, I drilled and tapped it. So you can use any kind of a case you want, any kind of a Wildcat. So that's it.